inside the Republican conference who they want.
Well, the Republicans decided.
Well, that's true.
But
Scalise, they shouted on Scalise, but narrowly.
Very, very narrowly.
So then think about this. Then let's say you're the Speaker of the House, Scalise or Jordan. Then you've got to find agreement among your own group, and then you got to negotiate with the Democrats, who aren't far behind you in terms of the number of House members they have. Then you got to go negotiate after that with Chuck Schumer and the Democrats in the Senate, because they control the Senate. Am I right?
Did you say Chuck McConnell?
Chuck. Well.
Or Mitch Schumer.
Okay. You can explain. I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Sorry.
Now, after that, you got to go deal with the White House, which is controlled by the Democrats. If you're going to tell me that a Republican speaker under those conditions can hold a hard and fast line on every single thing that is needed, that's going to be impossible. So that Republican speaker is going to have to come back and say, I got the best deal I could get under the circumstances. That's what I mean. That leads to failure, because then people in your own party are going to say, see, you can't get anything done. You're a rhino, and you caved on this, that, or the other. You see how difficult?
You've just explained how we ended up with the vote on Kevin McCarthy.
Right. I'm just saying it's a losing proposition, and I'm surprised Scalise or Jordan even want it at this juncture. We got another election coming up next year, and it was supposed to be a red wave. Last year it wasn't. It was a red trickle. And so we'll see what happens next year. But you really need about 25 votes separating the Republicans from the Democrats, Republicans in the majority, to be able to really make some substantial changes. Am I right, Dave?
No, you are right. And the prospect of a red wave is far greater this time around for the 2024 elections than it was in 2022. Primarily because of the quantity of U.S. Senate seats that are held by Democrat incumbents that could face challenges in those states.
If the Republicans are going to take over the Senate, this is the year.
This is the year.
Oh, well, next year's the year.
Well,
right?
yeah,
The next election cycle.
Yes.
All right, you're listening to today's issues on American Family Radio. Is what I'm saying, does that make sense?
Yeah, no. It is a difficult situation to herd cats if you've got a large majority. When you have a slender majority like the current House leadership, it's extremely difficult, because, as we saw with the removal of Kevin McCarthy, it doesn't take many to, I don't want to say rebel, because it sounds like I'm saying which side I was rooting for, but you don't need that many Republicans to go with the Democrats in order to accomplish whatever you want. This is why this rule was in place for a single member of Congress, to the Republicans, to call for basically a vote of confidence.
Motion to vacate.
Motion to vacate, because Kevin McCarthy had no choice. There had been 15 votes already. He had to make a deal in order to get the majority vote from Republicans, and for the Republicans to agree. So that indicates how slender is your ruling, your authority to make decisions on the Republican side.
Yep. All right, you're listening to Share the Next Story, Steve.
Hey, so
Dave's got to go in 3 minutes, so can you make it something he can comment on real quick?
Yeah, let me just do this real quick. We saw a lot of college campuses and around the world, a lot of people celebrating, waving Palestinian flags when this whole Israel invasion happened, and there's been a lot of back and forth. A lot of people being the left, for example, a lot of the left is saying they support Israel, even though they disagree with everything. But in Germany, there was a lot of flag waving going on in one of many countries. Henry Kissinger,
I didn't even know he was still alive.
he's 100 years old. He was Richard Nixon's Secretary of State.
He's speaking from beyond.
Well, that's going to sound like
He was interviewed by Fox News.
He was interviewed by Politico.
not supposed to do that according to the Bible.
That's true.
Anyway, no, he's still alive. Go ahead, Steve.
And he was talking about the celebrations that he saw, and this is what he said should have happened to prevent that. Listen to cut 12.
It was a grave mistake to let in so many people of totally different cultural and religious and concepts, because it creates a pressure group inside each country that does that.
It's a grave mistake to let in so many different religions and cultures and concepts into your country, because it creates a pressure group within the country to each country that does that. Now, what does that say to our concept of multiculturalism and open borders here in this country? I'm just saying.
Yeah, so you got 60 seconds,
Solve it,
Abe,
Abe.
if you'd like to.
Did you understand him?
I can understand him. It's one thing to invite people to come to America. It's another thing for people to become Americans. And I mean, it should
Assimilate.
it should not be an agreement